it might be time to install one of the best M.2 SSDs 2022 offers if you find your computer starting to slow. Read and write speeds will pick up immediately, letting you open, download, and transfer files much quicker. The top M.2 SSD for you depends on a few things. After all, not everyone is trying to upgrade a gaming PC. As a result, you will find options for all budgets and data access needs, not to mention different motherboard configurations. In that vein, before you press that buy button, you will want to check that your motherboard can work with these drives. If you are unsure, look at the best SSDs to expand the storage capacity of your PC. It might take a while to realize you have installed the wrong kind of drive, since the differences in random data access and sequential speeds between options are relatively minor. Suppose you can install an M.2 SSD, on the other hand. In that case, you will see an improvement, particularly in read speeds over write speeds. That is due to the fact that your Windows 10 computer will spend more time accessing memory instead of writing it. However, software developers and content creators should focus on better write speeds, since you will be accessing and changing projects regularly. Whatever your needs are regarding price, read and write speeds, and interface, we have collected the finest M.2 SSDs for your consideration. So, whether upgrading your desktop or building a new PC, something here will help you get the most out of your rig. 1. Adata XPG SX 8200 Pro. One of the most durable M.2 SSDs you are going to find. If you are looking for great value for the long haul, then the Adata XPG SX 8200 Pro SSD is one of the best M.2 SSDs you will find. It has respectably high sequential read and write speeds compared to its nearest competitors, the WD Black SN750 and Samsung 970 EVO Plus. Still, it is the SSD's outstanding durability that defines it. With an MTBF rating of 2 million hours and a TBW score of 1,280 at 2 TB, the highest TBW of the PCIe 3 M.2s on the list, and 160 at 256 GB. It also has a 5-year warranty, so no matter the capacity you buy, it will keep hustling along. Even if it is a tad bit slower than the rest, it falls short compared to the SN750 and the 970 EVO Plus by a good bit. It is its random access speeds. The XPG SX 8200 Pro is a little under half as fast as the two competing SSDs, so if you use batch programming to generate many new files for work, like invoices or database entries, you might notice that the XPG SX 8200 lags somewhat. However, that is not most people who will find the XPG SX 8200 Pro fast enough for general use, gaming, and creative work. The Adata XPG SX 8200 is one of the best SSDs we have ever tested when considering all aspects of the drive. Of course, you will get faster performance if you spend more money, but that's always the case. Adata's achievement here is that it was able to shove all of this high-end performance into a drive that should be attainable for everyone. With more SSDs like this, the days of fast and large NVMe drives being prohibitively expensive may end sooner than we thought. Reasons to buy: great sequential read performance, fantastic durability, best value for large capacity M.2s. Reasons to avoid: random access speeds fall short of rivals. 2. Samsung 970 EVO Plus, the reigning speed demon of the PCIe 3s. The Samsung 970 EVO Plus has some of the fastest sequential read and write speeds of any PCIe 3 M.2 SSD out there, making it an obvious contender for the best M.2 SSD on the list. In addition, its random access performance is also the fastest of the PCIe 3s, quickly making it the winner in the PCIe 3 bracket regarding raw power. The downside is its durability. The 970 EVO Plus has the lowest durability measured by MTBF, rating only 1,500,000 hours. Its TBW rating at 2 TB is 1,200, matching the SN750 but lagging the XPG SX 8200. At 256 GB, its scores are relatively low, 150, the weakest of the three PCIe 3 contenders. It does not have an option for a built-in heat sink, so any heat it generates needs to be bled off with additional cooling solutions. So instead, it uses dynamic thermal guard technology to help regulate its core temperature and a hardware heat spreader and nickel-coated controller. It is not a heat sink, but it is something. Of all the M.2 SSDs on this list, the Samsung EVO Plus is the most expensive by a good margin. However, if you have the money to spend and want the fastest SSD your PCIe 3 board can handle, you cannot go wrong with the Samsung EVO Plus. Performance: the Samsung 970 EVO Plus 96-layer VAND is not just for show, This drive propels past both its predecessor and Samsung's previous star performer, the 970 Pro. In a few areas, it also beats its main rival, the Black SN750. Looking at how well the drive performed in sequential and random data transfer tasks, the 970 EVO Plus comes out on top in every test except our 10GB file transfer. Considering that the Samsung 970 EVO Plus is meant to be a value-oriented consumer SSD, we are really pleased by how well it performed, even outperforming the enterprise-leading 970 Pro. The only mildly disappointing thing about the drive is that it could not maintain its rated 3,300 MB/s sequential write speed under load. Final verdict: as NVMe SSDs just keep getting faster and cheaper, it was time for Samsung to respond in kind, and it has done, with its best drive yet. As a result, the Samsung 970 EVO Plus has reclaimed the throne as the best SSD, coming in at reasonable prices and delivering the best overall performance. We have a sneaking suspicion that we have only seen the beginnings of what Samsung can squeeze out of its new 96-layer VNAND technology. The company may produce a dramatically faster 970 Pro Plus drive that may even feature the latest PCIe 4 standard Ryzen 3rd generation processors will support. Of course, we are just speculating here. The most important thing you need to know is that the Samsung 970 EVO Plus is the best SSD money can buy right now. Reasons to buy: fastest speeds for a PCIe 3 M.2 on the list. In-house memory and controller hardware. Reasons to avoid: a bit more expensive than the competition. Lowest durability for a PCIe 3 M.2 on the list. 3. Black SN750 NVMe. The perfect balance of speed and durability. If you are looking for the best M.2 SSD for your non-PCIe 4 compatible motherboard, but you want a good balance of performance, durability, and cost, then you really want to look at the Black SN750. It is excellent performance overall, with fast sequential read and write speeds, though not as fast as the Samsung 970 EVO Plus. It has significantly higher random access speeds than the XPG SX 8200 while falling a bit short of the 970 EVO Plus's speeds. As for durability, it has an NTBF of 1,750,000 hours, a TBW of 1,200 at 2 terabytes, and 200 at 250 gigabytes, so you can expect a lot of life from it. At a slightly higher price, you can get one with a built-in heatsink that should help extend its useful life even more. Unfortunately, the heatsink is only available on 500 gigabyte models or larger. The Black SN750 also has a fantastic size-to-price ratio, falling behind the XPG SX 8200 at higher capacities but matching its price at 1 terabyte. If you do not go with the heatsink option, that is, it costs slightly less than Samsung's 970 EVO Plus, with or without the heatsink. Also, between speed, longevity, and price, the Black SN750 is a perfect compromise if you do not want to sacrifice too much on any front. Regarding the Tech Radar lab tests, we can say that it is the best drive money can buy. Not only does it usurp the Samsung 970 Pro as the speed king, but it has also dismounted Samsung 970 EVO as the value champion. For these reasons, the Black SN750 has earned a perfect score and our Editor's Choice Award. Reasons to buy: excellent performance, excellent durability, heatsink option available on 500 gigabyte and up. Reasons to avoid: sequential write speed could be faster. 4. Corsair Force MP600, an affordable PCIe 4 SSD, but at a cost. The Corsair Force MP600 is a bit slower than the other PCIe 4 SSDs on this list. Still, fortunately, it is also lower in price than the others that the slight difference in speeds will hardly seem worth paying a bit extra for a bit of juice. The current PCIe 4 SSDs are also much slower than the maximum speeds possible with the 4 standards, which have about double the bandwidth of PCIe 3 SSDs. The Corsair Force MP600 is the slowest of the slower PCIe 4s currently available, even if it is just a little bit. If you can live with that, then the Corsair Force MP600 is still an excellent SSD. It is as durable as the other 4s on the list, so you are not losing much by going with the Corsair Force MP600 over the others, making it a strong contender for the best M.2 SSD in the PCIe 4 bracket at the moment. All of this assumes your motherboard is PCIe 4 compatible. If not, any PCIe 4 will run at max PCIe 3 capacity, so the extra power you're paying for is pretty much wasted. Reasons to buy: least expensive PCIe 4 on the list. The aluminum heatsink comes standard, solid durability. Reasons to avoid: much slower than PCIe 4 standards allow. 5. Seagate FireCuda 520 Gen 4 SSD, a brilliant M.2 SSD for raw performance. If you have a Gen 4 enabled motherboard and want to get the best M.2 SSD in raw performance, and you cannot go wrong with Seagate's FireCuda 520 series SSD. With maximum sequential and random access speeds that beat the Corsair Force N600, even if it's just by a modest amount. The FireCuda still gets to call itself the fastest M.2 SSD around. And since it is only a bit more costly than the Corsair Force MP600, you can justify the marginal price increase on the marginally faster SSD. Since there are other PCIe 4 SSDs with more or less identical specifications to the FireCuda, most are roughly the same price as well. So, you have a few options to choose from that will more or less perform as this one. None of them are fully utilizing PCIe 4 to its fullest. Still, theirs is likely to be the best M.2 SSD performance we are going to get for a while. So if you are looking for the best M.2 SSD with a PCIe 4 interface, now might be as good a time as any to dive right in and get your feet wet with the Seagate FireCuda 520. Reasons to buy: marginally faster access speeds than rivals, fantastic durability. Reasons to avoid: not as fast as PCIe 4 allows, bit more expensive,